Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.
Welcome to the Rock and Review. I'm thrilled to have on the CEO of one of the places I so want to visit, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio. Greg Harris, thanks for joining us on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm thrilled to be up here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but also thrilled to be speaking to Nashville, Music City. And there's just so much great culture and music that came out of Nashville and is in Nashville today. Whether you're out here in open mics in Leaper's Fork or at the Franklin Theater or just down on Music Row, I know Nashville is a hot town for all styles of music.
And you're so right, Greg. And that's the incredible thing, too, with what you and your team are doing, I think, at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, with your exhibits like the Play It Loud exhibit and the Civil Rights exhibit. There's so many facets. I know when you guys did the big Prince thing, this is the 25th anniversary year of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, 55,000 square feet of exhibit. And you're helping to bring it to people that are maybe not able to come up there and visit right now in our current situation, to where they can go online, check out the resources, and do some cool stuff, right?
Oh, yeah. In those first 25 years, we've had 13 million people visit us at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And our mission is really clear: to engage, teach, and inspire through the power of rock and roll. And even though the museum's been closed since March, we're delivering that digitally to people all over the world. We have incredible content at our website, whether it's educational lessons that teachers can use with their classes or parents can use that are homeschooling. We unlocked our vaults for 35 years of induction footage, and we're putting that stuff out there. Moments like when Prince plays While My Guitar Gently Weeps with Tom Petty, that happened at one of our ceremonies. So we're pulling this stuff out and sharing it with the world and releasing new things every single week, and just actively finding things, staying engaged so that we can inspire people all over the world.
Well, and I think it's such an incredible job that you and the team are doing there, Greg, because obviously, rock and roll and music in general is so near and dear to us. But I thought it was impressive that with the induction speeches and everything, too, you guys are releasing them uncut. So not the edited down versions you see sometimes on TV and all. You guys are putting them up to where, whoever your favorite artist is, and I mean so many incredible artists and bands that you've inducted over the years, but you're going to see that uncut on your website.
Yeah, out and enjoy them now because we're putting them out in this moment. But down the road, who knows? Maybe they won't be out there in their entirety, but we're getting them out now.
Well, I want to bring up also, I think a great concept, you've got Lady Gaga and all of these other artists that are doing things and tutorials and online classes with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But also, you've got a deal set up where you can do a hashtag garage jam, right? Now, what is that hashtag?
So we have a space in the museum called the Garage. It's our entire second floor. We opened it up last summer, and it's become the most popular exhibit we've ever done. Visitors would play real Les Pauls, real Tellys, real Strats. There's a 335 up there, too, you can play. Drums, and they jam with each other. And we're posting things with that hashtag. Now, if you're playing at home, post them with that hashtag as well and share them with the world.
How incredible to be able to tie in with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Also, I saw you guys are doing a kind of a drum tutorial with Max Weinberg.
Yes. Our inductees are our greatest asset. Much like our friends down at the Country Music Hall of Fame, we call on our inductees to help us out with things. And Max Weinberg was coming through town, and he recorded a tutorial sharing how he learned how to play and walking you through Ringo and Keith Moon and everything. And it's online and available. Again, the whole idea is to engage, teach, and inspire through the power of rock and roll, and to do it in ways that reach people while they're at home like we are, looking at these things on our cell phones or laptops.
I got to tell you, I got on your website the other day, and I saw some definite items that I may have to purchase myself, especially from the Play It Loud, which you guys are offering a virtual tour. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you got to recently hold Peter Green's Les Paul also, and you talk about an iconic instrument. I think that is one.
I did. That's a storied guitar. And when we opened up that exhibit, we co-curated it with the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And when it was in when it opened in Cleveland less than a year ago, Kirk Hammett of of Metallica came out because he has things in the exhibit, and he brought the Peter Green guitar out with him, and it let a few of us strum it. It's a pretty powerful piece of rock and roll history with a wonderful legacy. But, you know, those stories abound in our museum. When you walk through that exhibit, you can see, you know, Stevie Ray Vaughan's number one. You can see Rory Gallagher's guitar. You see Elvis's guitar from those early sessions. You know, it's unbelievable. And these are the actual pieces, the one-of-a-kinds, the one-of-ones. So it's well worth seeing when we're open again. But until then, we have a digital tour, and you can walk through with curators telling you about these priceless artifacts.
Well, I wanted to bring up also, Greg, that you guys are going to be postponing the inductions until, I believe, November 7th right now due to our current situation. But in November, you will go back to your regular induction method, right?
That's our expectation. And yes, in fact, the inductions were going to happen on May 2nd. And, you know, that date came up quick. We postponed it to November 7th. And we really hope that at that point we can all be together with our friends and neighbors in a concert hall and enjoy an induction by, you know, Nine Inch Nails and the Doobie Brothers. And it's T-Rex, speaking of guitars.
Wow.
And it's an incredible class. We are hopeful it'll be broadcast on, it's going to be broadcast on HBO and Sirius XM, but it's scheduled for November 7th. Folks that are hearing this should come over and enjoy Cleveland when the time comes. And until then, go to rockhall.com or check us out on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. In fact, today we launched something called Joyride, and we have a van that's all plastered with Rock and Roll Hall of Fame images, and it's going out and blasting feel-good music at all of the hospitals and food distribution points, and it's just bringing that smile that music brings to your face to people that are serving on the front lines.
Well, Greg Harris, CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I just want to thank you and your entire team for helping to bring us some of this joy of music, the great history of rock and roll, you know, through the virtual tours, through the online lessons, through everything you're offering. Max Weinberg drum lessons. How else would you get that? It's just amazing. And to me, keeping this history alive, particularly for our young people, too, that maybe, you know, didn't know some of these artists, and for people like you and I who are huge fans of the artist, of the music, of the instruments. It's just amazing what you guys do up there. Congratulations on your 25th anniversary for the facility.
Thank you very much. We're honored to be entrusted to do this, and the artifacts all tell stories, but the big story is that rock and roll connects all of us. It is the most powerful art form ever made, and it connects us all, and that's the power of rock. So we can do that virtually, we can do that physically, and look forward to doing it long into the future with everybody.
I'll tell you what, thanks for the great job you guys do. I love what you're doing online, and obviously an incredible facility. I'm looking forward to coming up in person, but for now, I'll go online, take the tours, and do the lessons like everybody else. Greg Harris, thanks for joining the Rock and Review.
Sponsored by the Big 98, Nashville's #1 for new country and the home of the Bobby Bones Show.